And our presidential debate coverage continues. The high-stakes showdown could shape the rest of the campaign. The National Desk Matt Galka joining us live from the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia. Matt, of course, leading up to this, there were a number of rules with this debate, like no live audience, the mics being off. Have the candidates, for the most part, stayed on track?
Yeah, you know, I think having the mics muted did a couple of things, right? I mean, think about these past debates. I can think of off the top of my head, you had some memorable exchanges back in 2016 between Trump and Hillary Clinton, and you definitely had a memorable exchange back in 2020 between Trump and Joe Biden, and I believe that ended with President Biden saying, "Will you shut up, man?" Those moments went viral. Now, we couldn't really get those because the mics were muted, but on the other side of that, we just heard some memorable sound bites right there. The candidates were able to get their points across, get their attack lines in there, get their jabs across without being talked over by the others. So despite the drama leading up to this one, Didi, I think they were effective, and I think for voters who were watching, and look, not everybody is as into politics. They might just tune into this, and that's about it. They were able to hear a lot from the candidates, and with just 2 months to go, this could end up proving to be a very valuable night, and maybe even a make-or-break night for either candidate.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, those specific voters, the ones who might not be essentially tuned into politics, are the ones that these candidates are trying to target, so that's important. The scenario set up by the Harris campaign is a prosecutor versus a convicted felon. In fact, I believe that term was actually mentioned. How did that play, though, from the Trump camp? The goal was obviously to paint Harris as a flip-flopper, but watching it, you were there. How did you think the former president did?
Look, I think there's no doubt about it. They're two very different candidates. And I think if you're watching with an unbiased eye, you did see a little bit more of a surgical approach from the vice president. I think the reports coming out that she was prepping in Pittsburgh, doing mock debates, sharpening some of her attack lines. She was able, I think, to effectively bait the former president into sort of getting off topic, to talking about things that weren't related to responding to the question. There were a lot of times that Donald Trump pivoted to immigration, which is a huge topic for a lot of voters. He pivoted to some other things. And look, I go oftentimes, I like to scroll social media during big events. And I was taught a long time ago that if you're blaming somebody, you're losing. And for a lot of people on social media, they are blaming, Donald Trump supporters are blaming ABC, they're blaming the moderators, and more often than not, that might indicate that they might not have thought he was having the best performance. Now, look, does this matter? We don't know right now, right? There's still 8 weeks to go, but I think when the dust settles, especially when we compare it to the June debate with Trump and Biden, I don't think a lot of people are going to say, wow, the vice president really fumbled this. And as a matter of fact, late breaking right now, Didi, the Harris campaign is even saying right now they are ready for a second debate with Donald Trump, which would happen after the vice presidential debate, if it happens at all. But right now they are saying they are ready for another one. I don't know if we'll see it.
We will wait and watch for that. See any confirmations coming up. Matt Galka reporting live from the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia. Thank you so much. New tonight.